What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. It is the 21st day of June, and here we are with about 9 hours and 10 minutes left in the day, sitting at 1.4 cents, up about 8.7% on the day so far. And I gotta say, I'm liking what we're doing here. I feel like it's a bit different than what we've seen since May 16th on our way down, right? We're having here you had a nice little move up, and then it bled down. Here you had a nice little move up, and then it bled down, right? Lower lows, the whole shebang. Here we had a move up, and we did not get lower lows before having our next move up, and we're kind of consolidating in this overall area here. I feel pretty good about the purchase that we made yesterday, you guys. I think that we really stand a chance at having this as the low, but I'm not getting too excited yet, right? OnyxCoin has done this to us several times. Not just since May 16th, but throughout this whole damn range. It's done this to us several times where it pumps. It looks exciting. We end up with a day that looks like this, and the following week is just a slow bleed down to lower lows. It is still very possible, even though I got excited and I bought the relative low, however momentary it is or it isn't. We're hoping that and maintaining that it is the low. If I see any evidence in the charts to suggest that we're going to go lower than that low today, then maybe I'll sell. I'll take like a small profit, a little 8-9% profit, never hurt anybody. Low to high here, probably a little bit less than 9% actually, right? Because I didn't buy the absolute low. It's probably more like 5 or 7% profit. Anyways, low to high here, reaching for that golden ratio, man, and not hitting it. It's not common, but it does happen in very bullish circumstances. We might get a very bullish reversal out of this, and that would be nice to see. We're definitely on track so far today. But again, if we aren't completing the thought and going higher, if we're not validating this as some kind of double bottom low here, then yes, we likely would go down just one last time to this golden ratio zone, and then we could try again later, right? That's essentially what's going to happen. Either we're doing it now or we're doing it then. Whatever. Probably by the end of the month, though, we should be up above the current price, if not around here. And going into July, we're going to be reaching for prices that are up at 2 cents, up at 4 cents, up at more cents, right? Inevitably going to 26 to 32 cents. That's the expectation here. Looking at the RSI, if today were to close here and then tomorrow were to close red, we would have higher highs in the RSI while maintaining lower highs in the price. That's not a good thing, right? That's why it's very important. I think it's vital that today or tomorrow we close above 1.47 cents. We need to close a day above there, and ideally not just above there, right? Because if we're closing just above there and the RSI is not just above this high, I would still think that some form of hidden bearish divergence. You got areas of resistance that were support. You could still come down and find a lower low. So the further away we get from 1.47 cents, the better. It would be awesome if by the time I make my next OnyxCoin video, whenever the new day starts, the 22nd there, if we are just a good bit above this line, or at least above it. Any kind of above it would be fine, and then Sunday can just grow a little bit more. I would love to see that. Let's look at the short-term stuff, and then we'll zoom out from there. 1 hour time frame. That's a good bit of volume. It's actually the most wow. That's a good bit of volume there, you guys, that we just saw. More volume. Wow, look at that. And we're on Coinbase too, the biggest exchange that has XCN spot. That's the most volume we've seen since this move over here. And again, just to me, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this looks a little bit different as far as price action goes than anything that we've been doing here. Different results, man. Different behavior begets different results. I don't know. Maybe not. I like the 1 hour RSI. I like what we're doing here, okay? You are rejecting the oversold zone, getting deep into the overbought zone. I would have liked it if you played around in here more, and maybe that's what we're about to do. Maybe we do play around in there by the end of the day. Let's look at the short-term stuff real quick. Okay, we'll look at the 15-minute time frame, and then we'll zoom back out. A little bit of volume on the way down, too. Let's be fair, actually. On that selling candle last hour, that was one of the bigger red candles we've seen, too, actually. That was one of the bigger red volume candles that we've seen in a while as well. So, some profit taking could have been had from anybody that bought down here and sold up here. I'm like, yeah, let's just see. Even if you bought the absolute high point here, there's a point in time where you're up over 10%. That's good enough for short-term profit taking, absolutely, especially if you're expecting the price to go down lower. I wish I was awake for that, man. But I only woke up this hour, actually, like 54 minutes ago, so wouldn't have mattered anyways. 15-minute time frame. Looking at, the RSI on the 15-minute looks good. It's got me compelled to believe that we are going to go higher from here, not lower, but time will tell. We'll see. Let's look at this from a low to a high. Come on now. 0.5382. If we go lower, there's a chance that 1.38 cents, 1.37 cents, something like that will hold the support. But if we get above 1.47 cents, I'd say that we're on our way higher. Yeah, we're on our way higher. And if this is the low, the relative low from a high to a low, I would anticipate that we go up to 1.56, 1.61, 15-minute time frame. This could be by the end of today, certainly by the end of tomorrow. And that's exactly the reaction we want to see, again, to get rid of this hidden bearish divergence on the daily time frame there, okay? So I've got hope. I've got optimism. Let's throw some other indicators on here just to help us out. Let's see. Stochastics have hidden bullish divergence. RSI looks fine. The MACD looks good. We're crossing above the zero. Good. Good stuff. Yes. I think it's good. That's what we want to see. I don't like the current 1 hour candle and how it looks right here. 4 minutes left to go, but we've seen death-defying candles like that before, and then we move up. It's not a big deal. We've seen candles like that before, and then we move up. It's really not a big deal. So I'm not too fazed by this. I think anybody who's fazed by that, you got to look at the other data, and I feel like the data that we're looking at here is very suggestive that we actually continue to go higher. What about this here from a high to low? Speaking of other data, right above the 1-for-1-4. Yeah, I stand by. I would like to see us hold above 1.39 cents. If we get below there, then I might be concerned that this was the high. So just understand, guys, if we close today below like 1.39 cents, we probably are going back down to 1.2 cents, 1.23 cents, and I would probably take very small profits at that point, right? For that way I can just buy in at a lower price. And I'm not talking about selling all of my OnyxCoin. I'm talking about selling what I bought yesterday at the relative lows, right? It was actually, I think it was over here. Wouldn't it have been? No. It would have been, it was somewhere around these lows here. I don't know. Like 1.33, something like that. I don't know. 1.43 is where we're at now, though. Getting this cross to the upside. 1 hour and 3 minutes left in this 4 hour time frame, man. If we get a fresh cross like this, I don't think that we're just going to do something like that. I would expect that we do continue to move up, man. Here you had that little green tick, you moved lower, and then inevitably you went higher anyways. So I guess it's really not that big of a deal, but I don't think that we do. I think that this fresh cross implies more to come. Stochastics agree. RSI looks good. The RSI actually does look bullish. I mean, the 4 hour has me convinced that we're definitely moving up and we're not in jeopardy of moving down. So that's exciting. Daily time frame. Stochastics also look good, you guys. The stochastics look really good. And the MACD is starting to build some bullish momentum. I like what I'm seeing here, you guys. I really do. I really, really do. I think it's great. And then again, just that idea that we were supposed to hit the golden ratio. This is an area that so many people, you guys, so many people are aware of, right? Whether you're aware of it because you're watching this video, you're watching someone else doing OnyxCoin analysis, right? From a low to a high, you draw a fib on there. This is not a hidden area, the golden ratio, right? The 618, a lot of people have their eyes on that. And we've validated already whenever OnyxCoin is at these low points, whenever it is making its moves down, we've seen some of the lowest volume that we've ever seen from OnyxCoin, like in months, like since January, right? The lowest volume we've ever seen. We haven't seen OnyxCoin get below 4% volume ever. And it's doing that here, even in these lows, even in these boring times. It was doing that here, though. And on the moves down. Nobody wants to sell. Nobody wants to sell. What? Just so that it goes a little bit lower? Nobody wants to sell. People want to buy. And we can tell because when the volume comes in, when we do get that good volume, it's on buying days. I wouldn't be surprised if we have more than 5% volume today, right? Whereas the last time that we looked at the volume, it was like 2 point something percent. Let's just see. Double the volume or more. Watch. It'll be like 10% even. Let's see. 8%. Right there between 5 and 10, right? Right there, 8.8%. You don't get that kind of volume on the way down. In fact, we haven't seen that kind of volume at these relative lows here. And typically, whenever, and I've said this even without this as an example, I've said if you reach for the golden ratio but you can't get there, that means there's either A, not enough selling pressure, or too much buying pressure. I've always thought it was the same thing, but the fact that there's such low volume, we know that there's not too much buying pressure. It's just not enough selling pressure. Absolutely, there's not. Nobody wants to sell here. Nobody does. And what, if it goes down lower, are people just going to all of a sudden panic sell? I doubt it. At this key area, maybe. Maybe the people who aren't paying attention, maybe they will. But at this point in time, I think that if you bought OnyxCoin any step of the way here, and you're still holding it here, I don't think that's going to be enough to shake you out. Go for it. Give us cheaper OnyxCoin, please. We will take it. We will take it. But I don't think that we, the plebs, are the only ones, right? I think that there are there are people with some big bags, some high intentions for this thing that are eating this thing up. There might be a buy wall coming in right down here, and I think we can see that because again, whenever we move up, we're getting volume. That's when we actually do get volume. 8% is not crazy volume. That's actually pretty low for OnyxCoin still, but it's more volume, dramatically more volume. It's like 2 or 3 times the amount of volume as what we see when we're at the lows. Just validating the idea that we move up here. I like the daily indicators. The daily indicators look good. The only thing I don't like and that I'd like to see is that we don't get hidden bearish divergence. We don't have higher highs in the RSI and then lower highs in the price. I want to see us get above this right here, 1.47 cents, and stay above there. Get above there and stay above there. From a high to a low, we've interacted with the 236 like this. I mean, statistically speaking, I think that we have a very good chance of hitting the 382 before going lower. If we were to go lower, we would at least go there. So that's at 1.7 cents. But man, if we go up to 1.7 cents, we break above there. I just think we're going, man. We're going. But again, just with how we've interacted with this 236, I would think that we at least go to the 382 before going lower. However, we have seen this happen with OnyxCoin before, where it should have done that and it didn't. It actually did go lower. Let's see if I can find an example here. High to low, right here. You went above the 236. You should have hit the 382, but you didn't. You went lower, right? I remember that. I was painfully ingrained in my head. I was counting on that. Right here, you danced with the 236 right here, and then the next day you did get above the 382 and you went down. That's how it should be. That's something like that if you're expecting lower prices. I definitely wasn't expecting lower prices there. I remember thinking that was the low. Ho, how wrong we were. How wrong I was. How wrong I were. Low to high here. That kind of reaction off the 236 would make me think you are going lower, not going to the 382. That's not enough to convince you that you're going to the 382, right? Get above the 236, 382 at least, if not the golden ratio. And looking at this from a high to a low, we're in this area now, wrestling with the 382. We get above there. I would think that we go all the way up to the 0.5, right? And then again, if we go up to the 0.5 right there, high to low here, I mean, that's getting above this 382 here. We'd be going to the golden ratio, right? These little steps beget bigger steps, and we would likely find resistance around 2 cents or higher. We get to 2 cents or higher, you guys, we're breaking out of this range, and we're going all the way up to 5 cents and beyond. We'll probably find some turbulence at about 3.9 to 3.3 cents whenever it's time, but then after doing that, we'll continue to rally, ultimately, inevitably going to our destination of 26 to 32 cents. That's what I expect. Even in the most bearish, pessimistic outcome that I could be, which I feel like is just reaching for unrealistic bearish expectations, even then, and maybe I'm just so bullish, I got my head in the clouds, I'm such a moon boy that the bearish expectations are the real ones. So let's even talk about it. Even then, we had an 11 cent to like 14 cent price right here, right in this zone where there is significance. And as sad as that would be, right? Wouldn't it just be sad if all we got was a 7.8x? I know, I'm a terrible person. If we got up to 15 cents, all we got was an 11x. I know, guys. It'd be terrible. But especially when we're expecting an 18x to a 20-something x. But still, even in our most pessimistic outcomes, we're going to obliterate the rest of the market as far as performance goes. And I don't think that we stop there. I really do think. I mean, we've run the numbers enough times, man. This is where we're going. 26 to 32 cents. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. It's coming our way. Load up the truck now. I know I did. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. All right, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.